Welcome to Lizards of the Toast, and long time no see, but it's almost cold season, and that means I'm very busy. I have to do all my outdoor projects. So, such is the life of a repairman. Anyways, we have Bizak here. I'm just kidding. You guys know why you're here. You want to see the best Rakdos Midrange, the best Hollow One iteration. None of that Vine crap. We don't even splash green. Baby, this is Rakdos. Let's get right into it here. We need the orc army, of course. And this is just for flavor. All right, let's get right into the creatures. So have you guys missed me? I do apologize for being away. I've just been so busy. You know how it is. You take a step away from the channel. Anyways, I digress. Let's get right into this deck list. Now, this is just tearing it up. We have Nethergoyf. You guys know what Nethergoyf does, right? Power equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard. Its toughness is equal to event number +1. It's like a baby Tarmogoyf, kind of. That escape cost. Exile any number of other cards from your graveyard with 4 more card types among them and pay that. That kind of sucks. I don't think I've ever done that. So we have 4 Nethergoyfs. Now here's where we go a little different. We have Dr. C with a newly minted PhD. Dr. C here can get Delirium very quickly in this deck. So that 3/3 flyer is just great because this deck just chips away, then scoops away, and then bang, you've won. So that Surveil works really good with our discard effects. We have 4 of the Doctors. And wait till you see how I explain the sideboard of this. You'll really love it, I promise. Don't tune away because the sideboard makes this what it is. This deck could not be as good without the sideboard. We have Marauding Mako. AI did not make that for sure. Shark Toes, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the stance of the shark too. Look at this leg and then the way this leg's going down like that. That's very strange. I don't know. So like the shark would have to have like a spinal deformity to, I mean, it has legs. Okay. I digress. See, look it. We may have been gone a while, but nothing's changed here at the Toast Factory. So we have these Marauding Makos. Discard 1 or more cards, put that many 1/1 counters on this creature. Cycling to keep gas in the tank. We have 4 of those Makos, of course. FOMO. We don't want to miss out, so we're running 1 Fear of Missing Out. It's an enchantment creature, so it is 2 types in the graveyard, and it has Delirium, and it does a discard thing. So when it enters, discard a card and draw a card. That's great for us because turn 2, if we discard a card, turn 3, I think. Yeah. A few times we've turn 3'd this, discarded a card, then played a Faithless Looting, and then played a Hollow Man, which was really nice. So whenever Fear of Missing Out attacks for the first time each turn, if there are 4 more card types among cards in the graveyard and tap target creature after this phase, there's an additional combat phase. So this is great if you have a Detective's Phoenix on your Hollow Man. Just get him out, attack with this. If you have Delirium, get that double tap, and that'll usually do it for you. Now, Orcish Bowmasters works really good in this deck. And it's a shame this card's so dang expensive because you really couldn't stand to not have a play set in here, I think. Even though you might sideboard 1 or 2 sometimes. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. So, the Bowmaster, you guys know what that does. It creates those, oh, look at that. Bizarre. So, our opponent is going to get hit 3 times, and we're going to get +3/+3 on our Orc army. That's going to be really good. Ding, ding, ding. So, this is definitely never a dead drop. Well, I shouldn't say never, because it probably will be. We have Detective's Phoenix here. A lot of people run 3 of these. I don't like that because I like this in the graveyard to give us our 2 types. So Bestow. Bestow means that you collect evidence 6. And the bestow cost of collecting evidence 6, bestow basically you enchant something as this were not a creature, it's an enchantment creature. So if the thing that this enchant dies, say, or is removed, this enchantment then becomes the Phoenix. So it is 2 card types. We have 4 instead of 3 because if there's 2 of them in the graveyard, we can keep Delirium and still pop 1 of these out to bestow. Collecting evidence 6 just means that we want to exile 6 mana's worth of cards out of the graveyard. So 4 of those wonderful Phoenix, and look at that full art. Doesn't that look nice? I like the full art Phoenixes with the full art Nethergoyfs. I'm very proud of this deck. I love it. Both Ash and I have each like 3 decks that we're really, really proud of, and this is one of mine. And she has an Is It Prowess that she loves, and then a mono white like human control. And I just love it. I love it. They're beautiful decks. Not the most expensive, but I just like this deck. It's such a toolbox deck. Anyways, oh, look at me just excited about the deck. Can't quit talking about the deck. All right, so here is the Hollow Man himself. He's an artifact and a creature. He cycles, so he can help with Delirium too. We have 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. And listen how spooky. The embodiment of yearning, forever drifting the deserts to find what once had made it whole. Well, I bet it's looking for its hands, maybe? Give him a hand. Give the hollow one a hand. So we have 4 hollow ones, of course. Now, Street Wraith is not a creature in this deck. Street Wraith is you pay 2 life, discard a card, and draw a card. So that's what Street Wraith is. Never casted this thing for its cost there. Never did it. Who cares about Swamp Walk? This thing just ends up in there, and because it is 5 mana, this is also gas to pay the bestow cost of our Phoenix. So excellent gas for that as well, and that discard draw. We gotta love it. All right, speaking of Delirium, we have Tarfire here.
After Auntie brushed the soot from her eyes, she discovered something wonderful. The fire had turned the goat into something that smelled delicious. A tale of Auntie Grub.
Well, isn't that special? Tarfire deals 2 damage to target creature or player, and it's a Kindred instant. Used to be called Tribal instant, now called Kindred, which basically what that means is a goblin. It's a goblin and it's an instant. So it's a Kindred and an instant. So whatever is in the yard, as long as you have this in, this will always be 2 types. But it's an instant and a tribal or a Kindred. So that it's very unique in that sense. We're running 2 of these just to get that early Delirium. Lightning Bolt. Hey, does 3 damage to any target. Who doesn't love it? We love it. And these ones, very easy to find. I don't know why we need to find them, because we can't tutor them up or anything, but in any case, we have Burning Inquiry. This is the engine. Each player draws 3 cards and discards 3 at random. Of course, we have 4 of that 1 red mana. We have Faithless Looting. Draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards with that flashback cost. You'll often find yourself doing that because it's so dang good. And you can flash it back turn 3. And if you have a Hollow Man in your hand, why, boy, howdy. As long as you've got the mana and you've discarded, you're going to be a happy camper. 1, 2, 3. And speaking of that, this is how we would do that. So turn 3. Well, I'll explain that in the deckplanations. We won't do that now. We'll explain that later. We don't want to get into all that. We just want to show the deck. That's what we're doing because we want to milk videos out of this. We want to talk about this with you guys. Arena of Glory is our only non-fetchable land. Arena of Glory enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a mountain. Eee. But you can tap it, add 1 red. You can pay a red, exert Arena of Glory, add 2. If that mana is spent on a creature spell, it gains haste until end of turn. So we Faithless Loot. And basically, if we have a Hollow Man in our hand, tap 1, tap this for 2, play Faithless Looting, and then use the remaining red mana to play the Hollow Man, he will have haste. So that's what I was trying to explain. But as long as you have the 3 mana to do that, you're just fine. All right. We have another Arena of Glory. Just 2 of them. Sometimes we think about 1, but we want to get it in our hand. Now for the fetchies, the fetchable vegetables. For our fetchable vegetables, we've got Bloodstained Mire, Bloodstained Mire, Bloodstained Mire, and a Bloodstained Mire. And if you live in the Midwest or in the Great White North like me, you'll know that Myers is a big Walmart-like store. So if the mire is blood-stained, it's probably not a good time to go because something bad happened there. Just like here, where bad things sometimes happen because dragon's breath once burned here, but their bones now freeze. That's not good. Not for the dragon. So, 4 of those. Now, what is this? It's supposed to have 2 mountains. Well, guess what? My local area, we have the blood moon problem. We need the black if the blood moon problem happens, because the blood moon problem is a problem. The blood moon problem. Understand? Good. So don't put in the comments, oh, the two mountains. No, my friends. Not the 2 mountains, because the blood moon is real. All right. And we have a mountain. 1 mountain. You like that? You see that? So, those are our 2 basic fetchables. Here's Raucous Theater. Now, don't you hate it when you go to a movie and the dang teenagers are being raucous in the theater? I say, I dare say, honey, the children are being raucous in the theater again. So, Raucous Theater, it gives us surveil, so we can put something in the yard. And maybe we don't want to have this come in. Maybe we're going to do this on our opponent's turn. See what we're going to have, kind of set up our next turn. What a wonderful thing to just have 1 of them in the deck. So, we have Blood Crypt. 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Very nice. We have a pair there, and these are kind of a pair, but we liked them because they represent 2 eras. 2 eras. See, this one's trying to be like, oh, look at us. We are giving you the remember berries. And then this one's like, we are the remember berry, but we are actually not the remember berry. Isn't that interesting? So, without further ado, let's get into the sideboard. Squiddity shidity. All right, so affinity is a deal. Affinity is real. Affinity makes me squeal with horror, not happiness. Meltdown. Destroy each artifact with mana value X or less. So those Cheerios go bang bang. See you later. Get your Cheerios out of here. Cheerio. Cheerion. Carry on. So destroy each artifact with mana value X or less. Those Cheerios, it's just 1 red. It's 1 red. Get rid of them. Blow them up. 1 FT. All right. Now, sometimes, because so many times things are leaving the battlefield, I mean, we have 8 fetch lands. Destroy creature if it has converted mana cost 4 or less instead if that permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn. So, destroy target creature if it has converted mana cost 2 or less. This is modern. That's most creatures. But even if it's some big thing, okay, that we can take care of it, and things will be leaving often, but we just have 1 of these. Just 1 of those. Now, for graveyard things, for Yawgmoth things, and the Soul Trader, which remember when I used to play Soul Trader? You still see some Soul Trader decks now and again. They're the eye ones now, the Oculus, kind of. Oculus Soul Trader or whatever. But we have Leyline of the Void for that kind of shenanigans. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 Leyline of the Voids, and if this is discarded, this is also gas to pay our bestow cost. So not bad, and we can play it for free at the beginning. So we have Thoughtseize. Now, oh, the combo decks don't like this. Thoughtseize. Target player reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. You lose 2 life. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, with all that discarding we're doing, we're going to want Surgical Extraction in the deck, right? Choose target card in a graveyard other than a basic land card. Search its owner's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of those combo cards with the same name as that combo card and exile them. Then that player shuffles his or her library. Oh, and notice that says non-basic land. So if somebody's getting cheeky with fetchables, you can get those out of there too. 2 of those, because why wouldn't we? The nature of this deck says use 2. We need to get it in our hand. We have Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. Why is that in the sideboard? How strange. This is where it gets cool. Are you ready for it? So Kroxa enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped. Yes, we know. Whenever Kroxa enters the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card. Then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life. So the escape cost. Exile 5 of their cards from your graveyard. Why would we want to do that? Well, because we're not always just doing the delirium thing, friends. So we have Inti, Seneschal of the Sun. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. Always useful. When you do this, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature. It gains trample until end of turn. That's going to be a really great thing for our big Hollow Man. So whenever you discard 1 or more cards, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until your next end step. That is pretty good because when we're discarding those cards, we are maybe going to see a Hollow Man pop up. But let's go ahead. I'm going to tell you how we sideboard here. So we have these. All right. And Fatal Push could be sideboarded in here, but for the sake of time, to keep the video shorter, we will do it this way. So I'll show you what we're going to take out. We are not too worried about Delirium. So what we're going to do is we are going to replace our Tar Fires with the Surgical Extractions. Right? You following me? All right. And we're going to replace FOMO with Inti. All right, look at this. I like the way we're doing this. Okay. And because we're not doing the Delirium thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to take these Dr. C's, and they're going out of here, and they're getting replaced with Thought C's. Okay? And we're going to take one Nethergoyf, and we're going to replace it with Croxa. So what do we have now? We have a discard deck that cares a lot about discarding, and it doesn't care that much about Delirium or card types in the graveyard. In fact, only 3 cards really care about that. And turn 4 comes around. This is in the graveyard. We are going to have a Boomer come in there. Bang, bang. It's a heavy hitter. So that is how we sideboard. And I think that's been going really good for us. I love it. I feel real good about it. It seems like a real clean way to sideboard. Just, we care about Delirium. We don't care about Delirium. And depending, we got our Meltdown. There's a little Graveyard Hate. Got the Fatal Push there. A little bit more creature removal. And this is the deck. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here. This is one of the best that I've ever done on this channel. I love this deck. Is it like some other decks that Hollow Man is not a new archetype? We played it a lot. But this deck truly was my own inspiration. As far as I know, of course, there's so many iterations of Hollow Man. I'm sure it's been done before me. But I like to think that maybe, just maybe, in some planet, this was my iteration. But I think this is the best, because that Vine is too much of a slot machine. And we don't need a slot machine in modern today. What we need is a well-oiled machine. And that's just what we get here with this. So thank you for joining me. And I'll do a little gold fishing video to show you guys some mulligan hands. And we have another deck. We have a, look at that, boom. We have a budget modern deck that's going to blow your butt off. You blew your butt off, didn't you, boy? Look at that. Oh my goodness, what's that? It's a bridge. It's a bridge over Hollow Man.